What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going.
Woo! I like to applaud. I like an applause.
Yes, I know.
So we are truly excited to have our daughter present. How do you feel? For the
second time.
Yeah. Are
we
you
have
a little
Audri
nervous?
on the show.
I feel good.
Do you?
I like to be a star.
Oh, like all eyes on you?
Yeah, all eyes on me now. They're not a part of here now. Hi.
Isn't that crazy though? Isn't that crazy? Because you are that way, and this is going to go different. You are that way.
We were just talking about this.
When you go to a dance, which you just had your Christmas dance yesterday, right? How was it?
It was fun.
Oh, yes? Well, give me a little bit more. What do you mean it was fun?
What did you guys do?
So we danced a lot. We danced to like 2000s song. The thing is, whenever they play Christmas or Halloween, they only have like one or two songs about it. And I'm like...
You want more.
I'm like...
You want more Christmas
You
music.
said specifically winter.
So are you the last one on the dance floor?
Most of the time, yeah. We were like, play one more song. And he's like,
No, baby.
it.
Like, if a song plays, one that you love, like your jam, are you the last to get on the dance floor?
I'm the first.
You're the first. What if nobody's on the dance floor?
It depends.
It depends on how you're feeling?
It depends on how I feel,
Like if you're feeling yourself?
If I'm feeling myself, then I'll be like, okay, watch me do this.
That sounds like your mom.
Right? It is. But so I'm an extrovert, you know that. Like I love people whenever we go shopping. You're like, oh my gosh, you're talking to everybody, mom. Are you that way? Like when we go to the store, or do you feel comfortable to just talk to strangers and be out there?
It depends on how I feel.
It depends on how you feel.
If I'm more of like, I want to stay home, then it's like,
Yeah. If you don't feel like being around people or talking, then you don't want to.
Yeah.
It just,
So
but Joey is more.
Oh, he's
like,
out there.
He likes to go out and just talk to people.
Totally. I took him grocery shopping with me the other day, and I was sharing this with Miguel, and I sent him on his way to go grab something, and on his way, he was having a conversation with like everyone in sight. It was hilarious because we talked about this, like Joey.
So on the show, we've said that they're just like us, right?
Right.
We're like that Joey has a temper and he likes to be a perfectionist, and that you're more outgoing, or that you like dancing, you like the attention.
I'm more artsy fartsy.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But then, the other day you were saying, like, we just kind of started realizing that there's a few things. They're just a mix of both.
Both. Yes. Because you tend to be on. You're not shy. I wouldn't say you're shy, but I feel that Joey's a little bit more outgoing than you. Like if there's
when it comes to meeting new people.
Yes. Like I would take them to, say, a playground. Joey is like, would you like to be my friend? And Audrey would be like sitting, Mom, come on. Go with me on the swings.
Her and the other
kids
start blinking.
Come with me. Yes.
They start blinking at each other.
Right.
Like, would you like to play?
But Joey, when he goes to a dance, if he goes, he's like, leave me alone.
I do not
want people looking at me, right?
Yep.
I do not want people looking at me. You know, I'll talk to you. We can be friends, but don't expect me to get on that dance floor because I don't want anyone looking at me.
Yep.
Kind of deal, right?
Yep.
And if people do look at him, he'll is like, yes. Or he'll be like, or they start laughing. He's like, are they laughing at me? Kind of deal, you know? And you are like, ooh, everybody looking at me? All right, let's do this. Break it down, girl, break it down. No.
You guys were practicing the moves too before you went on the dance, huh? You and your mom? You guys been dancing for the last couple of days.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We are always dancing.
So after the dance, you had your group of friends.
Yeah.
And you guys all came over and had an after party, is what the adults would call it.
An after, right?
We called it an after party.
Is it?
Yeah, we called it an after party. Yeah, we're all like, like Sailor Chloe and Cyrus, they're like, I'm going to the after party after. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
So the after party was at our house? Hell yeah, that's cool.
So parents, those of you that are watching, you've heard me say it and I'm going to say it again. Be the house that the kids want to hang out at, because you get to learn about their associations. You get to learn about their friends. You also get an insight of your own kid and how they act around others. Yeah. And we were just having a great time. And Adriana, you and I, we discussed months ago, right, that we were going to at least every other Friday have a get together at the house where we can bake cookies, have a game night, or whatever it is. We would come up with something, and that was something that excited you, right?
Yeah, and we've been planning this ever since I was like the beginning of 6th grade, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Do you feel that it deepened your relationship, the gathering yesterday with some of the friends that you invited because you spent quality time with them?
Yeah, I've always I would always hang out with them like not after school. Like during school, like at lunch, when passing periods and stuff like that.
But it's different when you get together with them and you're able to really get to know them because you're spending time outside of school with them. Would you agree?
Sailor's the person who I would most spend outside of school.
Yeah. It's time with.
Yeah.
I don't know if when I was a kid, I was thinking about like, this is quality time we're spending right now.
Yeah, we're playing video games.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we were playing Manhunt or, doing whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know if I was exactly like, you know what?
But it was though.
It was
though. You weren't thinking that at the time.
And I don't think any kid is.
Yeah, that's
it's just,
true. Yeah.
They're just having a good time with their friends. It's just when you look back at it, you're like, those were the moments.
But we were having a conversation on the table because we were playing this pretty cool game. What is it called? True Colors?
Yeah, True Colors.
And so it asked specific questions. And in order to win the game, it's like you really have to know who's around you. Like you have to know their personalities. You got to know their likes, their dislikes. And what's even cooler is that you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
Because if you answer a question, right, if say, everybody votes that it's your personality and it's you, like who you are, and you put, what is it most? You put your little, anyways, you win by being in tune with who you are. Like you speak your truth.
It's what everybody sees in you. Is that kind of like what it is?
Yes. Yeah. Like if they're like, okay, who is the one who would ask the opposite sex on a first date? Like, who has the confidence to do that?
Oh, yeah. I know who exactly.
Right?
Who.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You have to know the people beside you. So with this game, it gave them the opportunity to really get to know each other. And most of them already knew, like they were pretty in tune with each other because you guys have such a tight tribe, right? Like tribe is group.
You guys are a close unit.
Yeah, they would all choose me, I bet you, because they've seen me do it. And so then they're like,
no fear. That is so odd though. Right?
Yeah,
that she doesn't, because you would. Like if there's someone that you have a crush on, you're not going to tippy toe around it. You're going to be like, hey, dude, I think you're cute. Not,
you see,
I wouldn't say they're
not
cute.
like that.
I'd talk to them for a little bit, knowing that I'm like, you sure?
But where did that confidence come from? Where do you feel that confidence? Because a lot of people, kids your age don't speak their truth. They don't speak their mind. Where do you feel you got the confidence to do that? Like seriously, just think about it. Like, where did that come from? That's
something that just
just
popped up when I was like in 5th or 6th grade.
You just kind of got used to it. You've done it over and over again.
What, did something happen to you that made you start speaking up for yourself?
No, I just said, like, when I used to have a crush on a guy, I told him, and then I got used to it.
Did you hear that, babe?
A crush on a guy.
A crush on a boy.
Some dude.
Some dude. And then I just got used to it. So then.
You know what we love about you is that you are really good at knowing what's right, and you're really good at knowing what's wrong. And if a friend is being mistreated, we don't want to say any names or anything, okay? But if a friend is being mistreated, you are the first one to stick up for that friend.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Where did the loyalty? Where is that just... Have you always been that way, or is that something that as you've matured, you've grown into?
I've always been that way because I've seen the way that I've been mistreated and seeing other people
Be bullied and...
Yeah, then I'll just stick up to them. I could be ruder than sweet. It depends on how bad they're being mistreated.
Gotcha. But you definitely get your point across. Yeah. For sure.
I could make them cry. I've made somebody cry before, so...
But that doesn't feel good.
It doesn't, but I mean, it's like, you hurt my friend, so it's like...
Yeah, gotcha.
They had it coming.
You know what?
And I gave him warnings.
Do you feel that stemmed from jiu-jitsu?
It could have been, to be honest, because it could have been.
How do you think... well, so we've been living in this neighborhood for a while now, right?
5 years.
Almost, we're going on 5 years.
We're going on 6 years.
No, we're going on 5 years.
Second, third, fourth, fifth.
Preteens think they know it all. Parents just take notes.
We're going on 5 years. And
we're going on 6.
Anyway, get out of here.
So it's been different, right? And before, when we used to live in our old neighborhood, well, I mean, for those of you guys listening, and if you've been listening for a while, you know that the neighborhood that we came from before was different. It wasn't as nice as the neighborhood that we're in now. The schools in that area weren't as good as the schools that we are in now.
Correct.
And when Audrey was in kindergarten, she went to one school.
Yes.
And then for first grade, she went to another school.
Yes.
And then for second grade, she went to another school.
Yes.
And then we ended up moving.
And we never moved, by the way, just so you all know. We were in the same house.
We were just trying to figure out what the best school for our kids was going to be.
Yes.
And then we ended up moving to this side of town. And like we said, that was one of the reasons why we moved, was because of the neighborhoods, the schools.
Yes.
And she started school, and you started school at your new school. How has that been different? Like, from the schools that you were at before and the school that you're at, and your elementary school here and now junior high school?
I have noticed that they don't really bully me as much as I used to be bullied. And as soon as I moved into the school, I'd hear other kids saying words that I would not understand. It's like a stronger word, and I'm like, what's that mean? I'd ask it all the time. And then they're like, you really don't know what this means? And I'm like, yeah, what does it mean?
You know, you said the bullying, right? In the other schools, you said that you were getting picked on and you were getting bullied, right? At that time, you didn't do jiu-jitsu either.
I did it like at the end, sort of.
No. When we lived on the other side of town, you didn't do jiu-jitsu at all.
Oh, okay.
We started doing jiu-jitsu when we came over here. Mm-hmm. How do you think you would, like, let's say all your friends, because do you remember, was it like a different vibe on the other side of town in school as opposed to like the school over here? Like, did it feel different? Like over there, maybe you could get into more fights, or it was a little bit rougher. What do you think?
I may have been sent to the principal's office by now if I went to that school.
If you were in jiu-jitsu, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may have been sent to the principal's office.
How do you think you would feel like if you were in that environment now? Like, knowing jiu-jitsu and knowing how you can carry yourself, how do you think you would feel being in a school like that now?
Thinking about it, people are more gentle over here, so I'd be more...
I know, but if you had to be in an environment like that, how do you think you would feel? Would you feel scared or worried?
If I didn't do jiu-jitsu, then yeah, but if I did, I'd be more...
Well, you do.
Yes.
I feel like I'd be more like...
Confident.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if you ran into one of the kids that used to pick on you when you were in second grade, and they wanted to pick on you again now.
Yeah, I'd feel more confident. And then like around that time, and like if I was in this age and then I moved here, then if somebody were to bully me, they'd have
problems.
Bigger problems, yeah.
So that's big good transition. Even though you were young, I mean, the last school you were there for a bit before we moved, and not only that, but you had a best friend since preschool
Yeah.
that you've known from over there, from the other side of town. So when we moved to this side of town, was that something that affected you?
Yeah, it affected me a little bit. I was a little bit sad and like, I was like, you're serious.
How did you feel when you moved here, like not knowing anybody?
I was very shy. I wasn't talking to anybody. Like as soon as I remember going into the classroom and I'm just like.
Yeah. Who was the first person to talk to you?
Well, technically, the teacher made Sailor talk to me and show me around the school, and that's how me and Sailor became friends. She showed me around the school, and then it just happened.
She's one of your best friends still.
Yeah.
She's one of the ones in their group. Their group is so tight. Like they have a little group of friends, and it's just that's their crew.
Yes, it's so cute because I remember when she came over. One of the very first times, and Despacito, that song was. Oh yeah, that was it. That was the jam
song.
At that time. That was the jam at that time.
That was when we first moved over here.
Yeah. And these little ones, I have the video. We're all jamming.
You remember that?
By the pool and having a great time. How does it feel to now? Because you were what grade when we moved here? In what grade?
Second.
Yeah.
And now you're in 7th. So how does it feel to have the same friends, especially because now you guys went to junior high, and most kids your age would be scared, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to junior high.
You guys were excited. You guys were all excited to go to junior high, right?
It was both, but I knew I'd be like, oh, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it through this thing.
You gonna be all right?
Yeah, I knew I was gonna be all right.
But you guys, because I remember the conversations like you guys had. I always like listen in, and you guys were confident with each other. Like you're like, we're gonna do this together. Don't worry.
Like you guys were gonna stick together.
I got your back. Right?
We're all in this together.
I had that feeling one time too. I'll tell you about it on another podcast. It wasn't a good thing.
I want to know.
Well, look, we're all gonna go in this together, so we're gonna have to stick together if we're gonna survive. All right?
Please.
Zombie apocalypse.
Mine was a different story.
This is a PG.
I know, that's why I'm leaving it at that. Make sure you guys tune into the next episode.
But that's what's so cool is because you've had Audrey now. Listen, don't forget it. Oh, Dad. Okay, Dad took it somewhere else. Okay, stick with me, honey.
Focus.
So listen, how does it feel having the same friends for so long?
To me, it's like surprising because when I was in 3rd grade, just even 3rd grade, I was like, Mom, we stayed for a year. How amazing is that?
Because we were trying to find you a good school out there. That's why you were going from one school to another. And it was hard to build those friendships because a lot of time you were in charter schools and all those other kids in our neighborhood, they were going to the public school.
It was the same
in
thing.
Our neighborhood.
Everybody was doing the same thing. Everybody was trying to figure out what's the best schools for the kids. And I mean, kids would go to one school 1 year, one school another year.
Yeah.
But and I remember that was something that you really focused on. Like you really wanted that. And once you mentioned it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm down. And it's just like, going to one school, going there for a few years, making some friends, going to the next school that's in the neighborhood. And
But you know what's so crazy is that, I mean, I don't feel that was difficult for you. Am I wrong? Like you never expressed her going to different schools. She was always
she was little.
Like she was good though. Yeah, she was little.
I was never
but
nervous.
It's still she was never. And I'm like that. Like I adapt well. I remember when we left. When I was going to Camelback and then we moved to Tempe High, I left Camelback in my sophomore year, going to Tempe High, changing high schools. And I was excited. I was excited to meet new friends.
I was always excited too.
Really? Even being the introvert that you are?
You know what I think it was is, well, at least when I left high school in New York, I mean, I was sad, obviously, because of my friends and everything. But to me, it felt like a new chance, another chance to start over.
Yeah.
And then that first year, because I went to 3 high schools.
Wow.
So I went to one in New York and I went there for 2 years. And then in Florida, I went to one year and then I went to another one the next year. But the first year that I was in Florida, it was kind of like adapting, so I didn't do that well. And then the second year when I was with my cousin, it was like another chance. It's like this is gonna be the one. Like I'm gonna put it all together.
Right.
You know. So I always kind of looked at it as a new opportunity.
Well, if it were to be now moving to a different school, I would not be able to adapt very well. Because I've known these people for too long.
Yeah,
it's
now
like
it would
you're
be tough.
moving me.
Yeah, it would be
Like,
tough.
are you crazy?
We're not moving.
What if
Don't worry about it.
hold up. But what if we decided to move to Florida or California where the beach is?
That would be tough.
Can we take my friends?
Can we take my friends?
They'll move with me. You know, why don't you do that when I'm out of high school and I'm still living with you guys, and then they're in apartments, and I'll be like, hey guys, you're moving with me to Florida or California.
So are you going to live with us forever?
No.
What did you? How fast was that? No.
It's okay. Joey still wants to be
Joey
with us for now.
wants to live with us forever.
For now, he does.
For now. For now. I like it depends. I can't. So I'm in my room every once in a while because I need my alone time, and that is like my house, which is my alone time.
It's your cave.
Yeah, it's my little cave. So, and if you guys are gonna be all up in my business,
Really?
Yeah. Alrighty then.
You want your space? You want to do your thing?
every once in a while.
But so
you can do it every once in a while here.
So are you saying that we don't give you space?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I was just checking because I know we've learned.
Right.
I remember, we were talking about this earlier. Like now it's like, now that we're learning, like we're constantly learning how to become better parents. Constantly. We're reading books. You know this. We interview experts on this podcast because that's something that your daddy and I feel very strongly about. Like we want to give you guys the best opportunity, but also we want to become better because in return, you guys will do better.
That's what it's all about.
And I remember at the beginning when you were growing and you're still growing, but you're going through these changes, and I would just walk into your room and your dad would just walk into your room. And then we listened to this book that states, that it's important to give you, your time, your space, your respect.
Your privacy.
So then that's when we started, knocking on your door.
I asked you to knock on my door.
You did, but we were also reading on that as well, even before you even asked. Because listen, you can't act like you change overnight. If we're used to walking into your room, it's going to take time for us to you got to remember it's a habit. We're building a new habit.
Yep.
So it takes us time, just like it takes you time.
Yeah. So Audri, you recently started playing softball, right? And how is that going? That's so this is before you've played in like recreational sports, like you've played soccer, you've played basketball, but this is the first time that you're playing on the school team, on the junior high school team. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's fun. I really like it because, you actually know people because they're all from the same school. And
how does it feel competing with your teammates?
Competing against them, it's fun because most of the people on my team, they're very rough.
Competing against them?
Yeah, competing against them. They'll all literally dive to the ball.
So you guys are competitive with each other?
Yeah. One of my friends, she has a bruise on her face because of it, and I'm like,
what does team mean to you? Because you are part of a team.
We work together.
Yeah.
You work together. You win together. There's times where you're going to lose together.
You about to turn this into Fast and the Furious? A quarter mile at a time. This is family.
But she's learning because, we talked about this on this podcast, when we had her in, the recreational, when she was playing basketball or soccer, like everyone got a trophy. Yeah. That is not the case.
Nope.
That's not the case. There's scores. That's right. Like there's rules and there's rules to follow. And, so that's something that's a lot different.
Audrey, how do you feel? So you've practiced jiu-jitsu, right? And you've competed in jiu-jitsu. and you got a gold medal in jiu-jitsu, right? And they only give out one gold medal, right? They only give out one silver medal, one bronze medal. And in the other sports that you've played, like basketball and soccer, there isn't like a first place, second place. Everybody just gets a trophy.
Yeah, because they participated, which is like...
Yeah. What do you think? How do you feel? Because where you're playing now, because in your school, you're not going to get a second, third place. I mean, maybe they'll give a second place. But the first place, they're going to get the first place trophy. There's going to be a playoffs, and somebody's going to win, and it's only going to be one. What do you think about it? How do you feel about that compared to the other sports that you played?
It makes it more competitive. Like now that I know about this type of stuff, I get more competitive. Like when I lose, that's why I get more mad, because it's like
it's making it like, yeah, it's either you're going to win or you're going to lose.
Yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, here you get a trophy. Good job.
You got to earn it, girl.
So
right?
So if you played, let's say you played softball in the league that we're in, and you play softball on your team, and you win a trophy with your junior high school team, and you get your trophy from the league, which one
For participating.
would mean more to you?
The softball one, because you actually earned it. Like
That's
the league,
perfect.
In the league, you like say you go to one game, and then you just leave, and then you're back in the last game. They'll give you the trophy.
So
Yeah.
it means more because you've earned it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you're buying your clothes from now on.
Yep.
No.
So that you
You're
can
gonna
understand.
earn it. No.
So that it's
No,
worth
that's
more to
good
you.
though. That's really good. It's a great lesson.
Good job, babe.
It really is. You know, like she stated, you know, when we were talking to her earlier and about the gold medal that she won, and she said, I won it. It was her, right? Because there's no team. It's either
You're out
it's
there by
all
yourself.
her. It's
Yeah.
her. Yep. And now it's like it's a team. So, you know, it's something that you have to learn how to work together, how to motivate each other, how to support each other, even when you are losing, right? Even when you're losing, it's like you get off that bench and you get up to that fence and you cheer for your team. You know, whether they're batting, if you're sitting at the, you know, on the bench, it's still, you are part of a team. It doesn't matter, you know, what's going on. I think you told me one time, like when you guys were playing in football or whatever, it's like, regardless of what's going on, the person on the bench, you told me something like this, or either we heard a podcast or something, but it's like you are still part of the team.
Yeah.
It's like you cheer that, you know, your team on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're up there screaming and clapping and, you know, doing what you got to do to help them get on the right, or their mentality, just to keep them going.
Are you sure that wasn't Summer?
That wasn't Summer. I actually told Summer my love. Yeah. But yeah, you know, so that's awesome. We're super proud of you. Hey, let's get into her grades.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, girl, when you were little, whew, you used to drive us bananas.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like it was one thing after another. Like you did not like doing homework. You would fight us every step of the way. And now it's like
You're on it.
you
You're on it. We don't
so
have to
on
tell you
it.
anything.
You are so on it. What changed? What clicked? Do you recall? Like what motivated you to start getting practically straight A's?
I just wanted the straight A's, to be honest.
Do you remember, was there a time like that you just made a decision like, you know what, from now on, like I'm going to start getting my stuff organized. I'm going to start paying attention, taking notes so that I can get good grades. Was there a certain time?
No, I just, like, in 7th grade, I was surprised I was getting A's and B's. I've never gotten anything lower than a C, but on my cards, on my what's it called?
Your progress reports?
Progress or report cards, there's never been a C on it this year. It's been either A's or B's.
So maybe was it like, I'm going to start junior high school and this is my chance to like really kick butt?
No, I just did it.
Did you want to prove it to yourself? Like what motivated you? Something had to click. Something had to motivate you, girl.
Did it just start making sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
sometimes that happens. You know, I had asked you on the last podcast or a couple podcasts ago about something that like clicked for you.
Yes, and
You
I
know?
said,
What did you say?
dishwasher,
Loading the dishwasher.
loading the
dishwasher. But you know what? No, I remember specifically for me when I first not when I first started in aviation, because I started in the Air Force working on jets. And at that, we had manuals that we would look at. But once I got out of the Air Force and I started working at this helicopter company, we were building brand new helicopters. And one of the things that we were using that I had never used before was blueprints. And to be able to look at just a piece of paper, but that piece of paper is giving you information in 3 dimensions. You know, so the paper is 2D, but it's giving you information in 3D. And when you first start looking at these blueprints, you're just like, what the hell am I looking? Like, what view is this? Is this from the inside looking out? Is this from the top down? Is it from the left? Like, I don't get it. And I remember somebody telling me, they're like, if you look at them long enough, like just keep trying to figure it out, keep understanding, like, okay, this is the height, this is where this is what you're trying to see. I can guarantee you one day it's just going to click.
Yes.
And from that point forward, you'll always know which way you're looking at it. Like it's just going to make sense to you.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden one day I was just like, oh, this is
the view
from the back to front. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's over.
So one thing that I'm sure the parents out there have so many questions on, and, you know, we see it all over social media, questions, you know, with parents and social media and just, you know, technology and kids.
Yeah.
And with you, I remember the day you asked for a cell phone, and you used to tell me everyone has one. Like everyone has one. Everyone has a phone. Why can't I have a phone? And you were so like demanding about it.
And then we found out about Pinwheel. And if you guys would like a Pinwheel phone,
that's good.
Make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. It's not on there, but we'll get to that in a second. But look, it's the holidays. If you guys would like to help out the show, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. You can click on the support the show tab, and that'll take you to our Amazon link. And anything that you purchase through that link, it's the holidays. You guys are holiday shopping. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but we get a couple pennies when you guys buy something, and it helps us out. You'll also see a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a mobile notary and signing agency. So if you are in the process of refinancing, selling, or purchasing a home, you can request Trust Inc. to be your signing agency.
Yep, and you guys can go to Trust Inc. directly by going to trustinkusa.com. And when you're on our website, you guys will also see our social media. You guys can watch the podcast there. You can follow, listen to it there. You guys can send us a question. If you guys would like to give us a call or send us a message, you can call us at 480-912-5128. We're also affiliates with Pinwheel, which is a smartphone for kids. It's what Audri has. It's the only phone that really was an option. I mean, there was another phone that was also an option, but it was so limited that we thought this was a better option because this is something that she can grow with. The apps that they have available for the phone are appropriate for the kids. They don't have all the social media, the access to the internet, and all the stuff that they're not supposed to be getting into. But it does make the phone a tool, and it makes it useful for the kids. And if you guys want to get some more information and you guys want to try it out, they also have a new 5G phone that's out.
Can we get it?
So you guys, we'll see. We'll talk about it.
Discount, right?
We'll get something. We'll see. But if you guys want to give it a shot and check it out, you guys can go to pinwheel.com and use promo code OAP10. That's all in caps, all spelled out, OAPTEN, and that'll give you 10% off of a Pinwheel phone. And buy us a coffee.
Yes.
If you guys would like to buy us a coffee, go for it, babe.
If you would like to buy us a coffee, are you trying me a coffee or in Miguel's case, a beer?
Yep.
You can go to
buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod. And you guys can buy us a coffee there. Huge shout out to Bill Soroka, who bought us our first coffee from Side Hustle Lounge podcast. You guys make sure you check that out. But I'm sure a lot of you, just like us, if we met you guys in person and we met you at a Starbucks or Dutch Brothers or whatever you guys drink, we would love to buy you a coffee and catch up and, get to know you a little bit. And if you guys would like to buy us a coffee, you guys can do that there at buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod.
Why would
awesome?
Why would they what? Okay. That's weird.
So
why would they buy you
social media?
Because they love us. Yeah, so social media. So being the only one, practically the only one without a phone, how did that make you feel?
I thought I could handle. Well, I still think I could handle social media.
So, Audrey, when was it? When was the first time that you felt like you wanted social media? Do you remember that?
Or a phone?
Or what? Or
Yes.
what was it that you wanted and why?
10 or 11.
Okay, so like a couple years ago. And what was it that you wanted? Which one or which ones did you want?
An iPhone.
No. I'm talking about social media.
TikTok.
You wanted TikTok. I remember you wanting TikTok. You wanted
Yes.
TikTok. Was there anything else that you wanted?
Snapchat.
You wanted TikTok and Snap. Yeah, I would
That's it.
probably say
That's
that
it.
those were the two that you wanted. Why did you want TikTok and Snapchat?
Snapchat has cool filters.
You know what? I can
see that.
honestly say I understand like why TikTok and Snapchat, because they're more like artsy, like to take the pictures and see cool stuff and that kind
They
of
have
thing.
art tutorials that, like, because most art tutorials are from TikTok, and if they're from TikTok, there's obviously
Yeah.
way more in TikTok. So
Yeah. So like Mom was saying, how do you feel about, or how did you feel like when you saw that your friends, some of them had cell
A
phones,
cell phone,
some of
yeah.
them had social media.
A lot of them did.
Yeah. How did that make you
And
feel?
you didn't have a cell phone. How did that make you feel?
left out, sort of.
Left out? It's okay. Be honest, girl. Get it out.
Well, not having social media, I can tell that they don't know how to handle it, but because I have a computer, Mom allows me to use it, and I'm on TikTok. I'm only on it like once every 3 months for like 10
Yeah, you don't
to
get on
15
it very
minutes.
much.
And then I just leave it, and it's like just sitting there.
How do you see that it affects your friends, like them having social media? What do you see it making them do? Or
It's addicting. I see them do it, and I'm like, why are they in your pocket? They're supposed to be in your backpack. Why are you on it?
Like during
do you see
school.
them on it a lot?
Yeah, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
my advisory teacher, he allows us to have our phones out. Like, yes, that's just, yeah. But
Yeah, and I guess, it depends on the teacher
Her-
and what
yeah.
their rules are.
But her group, like, is pretty good. Like, when we were at the table, I mean, they only had their phones out, and it was because their mom is like, hey, if I call you, make sure you answer your phone. But other than that, they were not in their phones, because I would have taken their phones, because I told her, when we have these get-togethers, there's a rule. I take their phones. Like, if I see that they're on it, I'm like, hey, this is game night. You guys are going to hang out. But I noticed that her group of friends were not like all in their phones.
Well, and I know for sure one of her friends, one of your good friends, the one that you first met when we moved to this side of town, she has the other phone that we talk about.
Right.
It's not the pinwheel phone. She has the other phone, which is also
Is it
limited.
Gab?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Gab phone. And that one is also, I mean, their parents pay attention to, and that's the phone that she has that doesn't have access to the internet and social media and all that too.
she's getting a pinwheel phone soon.
Is she really?
Okay.
Make sure that she uses promo code OAP10, all in caps, pinwheel.com.
So she gets a discount.
So she can get a 10% discount.
Oh, you know what?
Text-
I'll
text.
call Amanda and I'll let Amanda know.
Yeah,
But
make sure she goes to pinwheel.com.
outside of your group, okay?
Promo code OAP10.
Because I remember like you coming home and just saying like everyone, they're walking and in their phones. They're just walking and in their phones. It's like they're constantly in their phones.
What happened was Sailor was on her phone way too much one time. I'm like, Sailor?
Don't be throwing her out there. Just say my friend. But how do you feel now? Because you and I went somewhere, and I don't remember who we were talking to, but we were talking about social media and having phones, and you told someone's mom, my parents protect me from social media.
I told that to when they're like, wow, your parents are overprotective. I'm like, they're protecting me from social media. Thank you.
Right. Because seriously, like as
Yeah.
adults, I mean, I was talking to your friends yesterday, and I told them everything that you listen to, right?
Yep.
Whether bad or good, you have to process. And even though you may not think that it affects you, it affects you.
What if it
Yep.
doesn't?
It does.
Trust me, baby.
You
it
may not think
does.
it does, but you have to process it.
Everything
does.
you read, everything you listen to, all of it.
So now we're getting into the holiday season, and it's so nice. It's beautiful outside.
Oh, I love
it. We're getting more lights. I went around the block today.
I know, they're almost done.
They're stringing more lights up still.
Really?
They're stringing up more lights. I saw them with the roll out there. They're doing more now.
How does that make you feel living in the hot, like the neighborhood, with festive
it's
and
amazing. It's like, why are you paying money to go there when you got a free one right here? Like
it is like that. It is like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were just hanging out with our neighbors yesterday,
yep,
having a few drinks with them, laughing, listening to music.
Little
and
fire outside.
People were coming in their razors, hey, good job. Like applauding all the neighbors. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Like we are definitely blessed, and we worked very hard to get to where we are today.
Yeah. Yesterday I had one of those moments when we, what was I going? I went to the store for something, and just where, because of the lights being all set up, I'm not parking the car in the driveway because it covers some of the lights. So I park it in the street, and I'm driving the car all the way around the block to get out of the neighborhood where I normally don't. So now every day, whenever I leave, I just go all the way around and look at all the lights.
Yes.
And last night when I was leaving, I was just kind of driving and like looking around. And it was just like for a minute there, like it just hit me. And I'm just like, this is like storybook stuff.
Yes.
It really is. Like when you look around and you see the like families outside in front of the houses, the freaking kids are playing.
Yes.
There's music playing.
Yes.
Like
our neighbor is playing the guitar, singing in the front yard.
In the front yard. I mean, like every few houses, like there's Christmas
bonfire.
music.
Yes.
And there's just lights all the way around the block and all the way around the other block now. And I just like it gave me, I mean, not that like
just gratitude
to pat ourselves on the back or anything, but man, yeah, it was like I was just so grateful for where we're at and where we came from and how our kids get to grow up.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything to that? Ditto.
What he said?
What he said. I totally forgot everything that he just said. I was like,
you were thinking? You mean you forgot everything you were thinking because Daddy had you in the moment?
Yeah. What were you guys? Because you guys went for a walk around the block yesterday with your friends.
Oh yeah.
What were they saying?
They're like, this is the most decorated place I've ever been to, and we're all like having fun. We're all just everywhere. We're just like looking around.
Yeah,
running,
make sure you
singing,
guys look in the group because what I'm gonna do.
I took a Facebook Live.
I'm gonna I'll put the phone in the car in the car holder, and I'm gonna just drive around the neighborhood.
Yeah,
and so we can get some video of it.
So in previous podcast, Adriana, I had talked about how good this feels. If you're not watching, you gotta watch.
I'm confused. Like what?
You're holding my hand.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're 12 years old and you still love your mommy. No, and I was sharing how, and it makes me cry. You're like, Mom, have you ever cried on the podcast? I'm like, yeah, all the time.
She's going to cry right now.
When I talk about you guys, I do.
Watch her cry.
Shush your mouth. And, babe, really? And you and I will go shopping. Like you and I will go hang out. Whatever, go grab a Starbucks or whatever we're doing. It doesn't matter what we're doing. And you are okay with holding my hand.
And being affectionate in public?
Yes.
I know. What a good daughter. Just a personality, right? Wow. It
You're
sticks to the family heritage.
What?
We are a very affectionate
we
family.
are.
I think that's just how we've always been.
Yeah.
But you and your mom do have a very close, very tight relationship, right? What is it? What do you think makes it so tight? Like what brings you guys so close? Because I don't know. I mean, everybody's close to their mom, right? Yes. But you guys have a special connection, right?
Maybe it's just that she has my personality every once in a while, and that we're just both girls, so we understand each other. And then like, because sometimes guys, whenever I speak to them, they're like, what? And then all the other girls are like, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then we're all just, like, laughing, and the guys are just standing there like, what?
See, I don't think she understands because this is normal for us.
But you know what I think it is, too?
Listen, Linda, listen.
See, just like her mom. I know you're your own little bean. We're similar, but you're your own little bean.
So this isn't normal. I see people with their moms and they're just like,
yeah.
Like the only people that I've seen is like the people that I know from my church. I've seen a couple of kids around my age being like
more affectionate.
Yeah.
So the kids at church are more affectionate.
Yeah.
Than your other friends. Yeah.
I mean, but
That's
everybody, all my friends go to church, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Besides one, but.
You know what I think it is? I think a big part of it is that your mom does understand a lot about you. Like she understands you pretty well. And not only does she understand you pretty well, but she also tries to understand you better. Like the things that she may not understand that well, she like works on trying to understand, you know? And your mom does put a lot of effort into, you know, your guys' relationship. You may not know it, but your mom listens to books and looks stuff up. And
she Googles, my parents Google everything, just so you know.
We do.
You should put the music. You're making me tear up over here. Not that one. That one.
You know, she looks up all kinds of stuff because your mom wants to do the best job possible. But it's true. Yeah. You know, anytime that something's going on, like we'll worry, we stress out about it, and then we start looking stuff up.
Like we talk about it. And we look for answers.
And you know what? For those of you out there that are listening, a lot of times, you know, when something's happening, like the hard times, in that moment, it feels like, what the heck is going on? But then I think once you start looking stuff up, you realize that other people have been through this before.
Wait, so you look up on Google and be like, yeah, Christopher Columbus did this.
No, we look up on Google, like, why is my daughter nuts? And then it said, it's okay. All daughters are nuts.
All girls are nuts. Not even daughters. Like, it's all girls are nuts.
I'm just kidding. But it's just things that, you know, kids go through. And we just kind of realize that, like, we feel like in that moment, like, what are we going to do? And it's like, well, there's been tons of people that have dealt with this in the past. Mm-hmm. You just got to figure out how to do it the right way. And you'll be all right.
And like I've told her, we were at, you know, in church, and I had told you, I'm like, you help me become better.
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm the best daughter ever.
There you go.
Just I'm the best mom ever.
And that's how you help us become better.
Yeah. You know, like you ground me.
Yeah.
You know?
You see, I've grounded her before. I've locked her in a room.
Get out of here.
Like I say, Mom, I'm going to hang out with my friends. Stay in your room.
Okay. All right.
Like how she locks me in her room whenever you're doing this. This is like the first time I've actually been.
You guys get locked up for a little bit, like an hour.
I know, right?
An hour is a waste of my life.
Adriana,
I could be swimming in a festival.
Well, we were playing that True Colors game.
Yeah.
This was really cool. So they asked like who has the strangest family or is what was
science fiction.
It was something, and they all chose Audrey, and I told them I want to know why. Like when you guys
wait, what was it? What was the question?
Hold on, when you it was either like
did.
Right, yeah. It was something like who has the strangest I can't remember, like
strangest science fiction family.
Something like that, but I don't think they understood the question. They all answered it the same, but it was weird. And Audrey, they had all chose Audrey, and then I asked why, and they're like, because she like pretty much like you guys have a great family. You know, like you guys have a really good family.
That's
and
cool.
I was like, aw, you know, that felt good to hear, especially from, you know, your friends, because they see like we do have dinner very like often, right? And that's something that we've talked about on the podcast, like the importance of, you know, eating together, having, you know, doing things together,
sharing that time.
Yeah. And just being together. And that is something that you had mentioned, you know, before too, is, you know, that we do have, you know, dinner together. Why do you think, or why do you feel that that's important? And is that something you're going to do when you have your family?
Yeah, and the reason is because it's spending quality time with your family, and I mean, you should spend as much time with your family as you can, because you don't know when you're gonna die.
Have you ever felt like when we're having dinner, like something that maybe you wouldn't have talked about, or like something that you mentioned at dinner, just kind of like because we're all there hanging out, you know? Have you ever had those feelings, or like something that like you maybe wouldn't have said, but because we're all kind of hanging out together and spending time together, like you talk about certain things? No?
If I don't feel like talking about it, I'm not talking about it. That's how it works.
But you enjoy.
It's just the spending time and together as a family.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is it different? Like between like what you see when you go to other friends' house, and you don't have to like give specifics about what they do or names or anything, but how is it different with other houses that you go to and our house here, and things that maybe we could do different, or the other way around?
So, most parents, they'll just say, go eat. And then they'll be like, don't wait until I sit down, just eat, and we'll just be there when...
Everybody just kind of eats on their own.
They eat on their own. Yeah. they eat
on
their own. But they will all sit down together, but it's like, just eat. Like, you don't need to wait for the table. But you will have to get the table ready, but it's like, just eat.
Oh, gotcha.
Are people doing different things while they're eating?
I mean, when my other friend's family, sometimes they'll just eat alone.
Everybody just kind of grabs their food and does their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're going to make sure happens when you have your family?
I'm going to make sure my family eats together.
Mm-hmm.
So, Audrey, now we're talking about a family. When you get older, you said you want to have a family.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to have kids?
Yes.
Obviously, that's part of the family.
Yeah, they could be psycho, but I mean, yes.
Yeah. Why do you want to have kids?
I don't want to be alone. I mean, like, if I were to be alone, I'd have a dog, but I want a kid at least.
Yeah.
You want to be married?
Sure.
You better say yes. You can't have a kid without being married.
It's called adoption.
I gotcha.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. There's a lot of kids that need homes out there.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, but I mean, like right now, it's like.
Yeah, you don't want to think about that right now.
So tomorrow we have a Christmas show that we're going to at the church.
Oh yeah, that. I'm like, wait, we do? I'm like, and then we said,
and you and your mom are gonna be singing in the Christmas show.
I mean, of course not. We both
and
want
acting,
singing and acting.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about that? Are you excited?
Both. In a crowd, but I mean, my teacher last year, he made us do a presentation, and he made sure we were staring at all the kids, and we weren't like moving, like clenching in our shorts or pants or shirts.
Because you're nervous.
Yeah, and he taught me how to not do that. So now I'm like more better at
presenting in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides that, it was just like a classroom of kids. Now it's like...
You know, Audrey, that's something that's really good to get used to.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people that being put in any position where they stand out, I mean, they don't want any part of that. There's so many people that are scared of that, and I used to be that way.
Joey's that way.
And Joey's that way.
Yep.
And that's something that me and him have in common. The only difference is that I didn't have a choice to get over it. And once I started getting over it, I kept getting over it. And I haven't done anything like that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done it enough times that when I have to do it again, I mean, I'll probably have to do it for my job eventually. But when I have to do it again, I'll be nervous. I'll probably feel weird. But I'm going to do it because I know that I've done it before and I know I can do it. It's just getting back in the routine.
It's super cool because you and I, and it's like that's our bonding time when we go to church, right? Like when we drive up there, we're talking or we're singing together, we're holding hands. And then when we get in there and we're worshiping, we're together, we're hugging,
crying.
We're crying together. Yes. And this time around, we actually volunteered to be involved. And it's been super fun for me. I was sharing with your dad because you and I are singing together. We're acting together. We're practicing together.
The only thing we're not doing together is a little.
Oh, yeah. Forget about it. I wouldn't be able to do that hand movement, girl. That's all you right there. But I got your back because I'm behind you. I'm singing right behind you.
I memorized it the first day, which is
she did super well.
I know. Like, I heard her
super well. She got it down.
Hey, that is something. Does that come from? Where does your competitiveness come from?
Yeah,
because there's something about you that even this little the play that you're doing, it's not even like a competition type of thing, but you almost kind of took the same attitude with it that you do. Excuse me, with like softball or like something that you want to do, like you train, and it was almost like you were training
immediately. She started
the hand motions for your show
because I knew the hand motions were easy.
But where does that?
You found that easy.
Where do you think that comes from? Like that competitiveness, because you do have that,
big time.
Yeah.
Me, I have no idea, but I think it may be from my mom's side of the family because my tia, she's very competitive when it comes to games, and
because all I want to do is win, win, win.
My dad was very competitive.
Yeah.
My dad was. I mean, he had to be.
Yeah.
For what he did. I was always very competitive too, but not to that extent. Like, I mean, I always wanted to win for my team and kind of like for my people.
I think with her, it was just wanting. Is it you just wanting to do your best? Because you started practicing right away.
Yeah, I don't like failing. I absolutely do not like failing.
How do you feel when you do fail?
Well, if it's like that day and I fail, it's like, let's just act like that never happened.
How do you, because you start to feel down, you get emotional. How, because I've been working with you, right, on paying attention to your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you do to help lift your spirits? Like, say you did lose and you're feeling a certain way. How do you bring yourself back up? What are some things that you do? What are your coping skills?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that. If I were to lose, it'd be like, it's okay. Just, you'll survive.
Okay. So you kind of
there'll be another time.
Talk. You start speaking positive. And having it sounds like you turn those negative thoughts into positive thoughts and turn it around, because you are very great at drawing. You are very good at drawing, and I thought that was maybe one way that you kind of let off steam. Is that not true, or is it just you love to draw? You get into it on your own.
Well, when I first wanted to draw, I remember in third grade was when I started liking to draw. I went into this art class, and then this girl left her paper on the table in my old teacher's class, and then I just started drawing the head and then the body, and then I kept going and going, and then when you guys allowed me to get Pinterest, then I figured out how to draw hair, and then I figured out how to draw eyes and stuff like that, and then, well, you already saw one of my pictures that I drew, and now... Then I memorized it, and then sometimes I'll create, I call it a bobblehead. I make like the biggest heads with the smallest bodies.
It's okay. That's how you learn.
And then I call it, oh yeah, that's my bobblehead. I drew it.
That's good.
So you look at, different ways on how to get better, which is great, because that's what we do. When there's something that we don't know how to do, then we look for answers, or we look stuff up. And
so, Audri, as you've been getting a little bit older here the last couple of years, things have been changing a lot, right? I mean, you're going from being a little girl to being a little lady, right?
I'm not a little.
I mean, well, I say little lady, but
a young lady.
You're turning into a young lady.
Young lady's better than little.
Okay,
and there's a lot of changes that happen during that, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times those changes can be uncomfortable when it comes to dad and maybe boys or males in general. What are some things that have made you uncomfortable? I mean, if you don't want to say it, you don't have to, but just, things that maybe you didn't like or something.
Or what are some tips? I mean, if you don't want to share
I'm just
that.
saying, or like some things that I could do different, or yeah.
Just be careful. Like,
be mindful.
Don't invade people's personal space around this time. Like, they do not like it when they are like being touched on the shoulder or just like anything that's like.
This just feels weird.
Yeah. And that's when, like, with you, we were reading on some things, and it's like now it's like you can read now pretty much her her vibes or her body language. I think that's what it is, for you dads out there, or who maybe they have a preteen or a teenager. It's paying attention. It's paying attention to their body language, to their facial, just all of it, I think. And I think what you've started doing is just being more in tune with her.
Yeah, like I just pay attention. And if you want a hug, or if you let me hug you, or you let me get close, then I'll get close. If you're sticking your butt out and you don't want me to get close, like, wait,
what?
Because sometimes, Audrey, like if I go to give you a hug,
give Daddy a full
and you
hug.
just kind of give me the arms around my shoulders, but you stick your butt out so you don't get close to me, that's okay. Because I understand that it's not easy for you. Like, things are changing. So when I take the opportunities as they come, you know.
Yep. And those are things that we had to learn along the way, just by doing research. And
another thing that you guys can do out there is asking.
Yes.
Is it okay if I give you a hug and a kiss?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it'll be yes. And if it's no, then it's okay. It's not going to be no forever.
Right. Yeah. Right. It seems like they come around.
It really is. It's a matter of being mindful. I mean, just because it does at first when you don't understand, is it the ego or just not understanding? I don't know. Like, it just, like, it hurts your feelings.
Yes.
But then when you really step back and look at it, it's like, it's a tough time.
Yep.
It's a tough time. And as a parent, you should try to understand.
Right.
Yes. It's cool. And, I do. I just got back from going out of town.
Yes.
Right. And it was a great trip. I ended up going to Kentucky, to Louisville, and saw a bunch of cool stuff. And then usually when I'm coming back, I try to talk to the Uber driver. And this last time I was talking to the Uber driver, we were talking about parenting. And whenever I talk to people about parenting and kids and stuff like that, like I genuinely tell them, like, I love it. I love it. Like, I love everything about it. It like you said, it helps us get better. It forces us to learn things. And there's just, I'm all about it.
Yes. So, Adriana, since you have your daddy and I right here, you have 100% of our attention. Okay.
Oh, yay. I'm the center of attention.
She would have been great as an only kid.
Yeah.
But, is there anything that you would like to share with us that maybe we can do better at, or, just something you would like to share with us?
Don't yell at me. Don't yell.
Okay. We don't
really?
It's not like we yell at you. We don't yell at you. But anyway, before we get out of here.
That's it.
There was something that,
Hey, what about that thing?
Oh,
we
yes.
Didn't even get a chance to go through that.
Time to do that?
Do we?
Let's end it.
We got a few minutes.
Let's end it. All right. So, Audrey and I were cleaning out a closet, and I found cards from her baby shower.
So from like almost 13 years ago.
Yes. And reading them, it was so fun. And then I opened up this piece of paper, and it's a game, baby shower game. How well do you know Sonja and Miguel? And I started reading the questions, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then I read a few of them to Audrey, and Audrey knew she had the first 3 right. And I'm like, oh, wait, stop. Let's make this a game on the podcast. How well do you know your mom and dad? So, Miguel, do you want to read the first question?
Okay, let me see.
Do 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 do.
No, you need to get Evan,
right.
and he'll be putting in the sounds for that.
All right, so what movie did Miguel and
Titanic.
Sonja watch
Hey, listen.
on their first date?
Titanic.
Let us give you the
50 first dates,
the
Half Baked, or Titanic?
I said Titanic.
And let me read the second. All right. Second question. What is Sonja and Miguel's favorite dessert? A, pie. B, ice cream. C, cake. Answer B, ice cream.
Nice. All right. Where did Sonja and Miguel first meet? At a club, prepaid legal meeting, or speed dating?
Legal Shield. It'd be
That's so
hilarious if it was
awesome.
speed dating. If it was speed dating,
That
it'd
would
be
be
like,
All right,
hilarious,
you're
right?
you're 3 out of 3 right now.
That's awesome. All right. Number 4. What was Sonja the morning of the wedding? A, nervous. B, wasted. C, doubtful.
wasted.
Why did you say wasted?
You were drunk from the last night from meeting Dad's parents.
He listens.
That is correct. All right, number 5. What was the most romantic date that Miguel took Sonja on? I'd be surprised if you know this one. Carriage ride under the stars on a nice breezy evening. An evening picnic with red wine on a golf course. Eating samples at a nearby Costco.
B, the golf course thing.
Correct.
Actually, they both
They
were.
could have been the first.
It could have been the
2.
first. Yeah. She knew it wouldn't be Costco, right? Eating samples.
I mean, it'd be hilarious. That'd be mine.
That would be yours.
Yummy. I love food.
All right. Here we go. How did Sonja and Miguel come up with their dog Niecy's name? A, because Sonja drove a Nissan. B, because they got Niecy from Sonja's niece. Or C, because Miguel has ashy knees.
A, you used to have a Nissan.
Good job. I'm telling you.
Good job. Yeah.
Dude, she
you're
knows us. Well,
nailing
this
all
is
of
how
them.
you know that we spend time together. Like we do talk to them about, our past, like how we were, how we met. Like we talk about that to them.
Yep. So
And they listen. So it's showing that you're a good listener.
Thank
so years
you.
ago, I wrote a song for your mom
Oh, this one she may
called
not.
"Proud to Be Your Man," and it says, "When did Miguel give Sonja the song that he wrote for her? A, on her birthday. B, on their anniversary. C, on Valentine's Day."
Wait, what was the song called again?
Proud to be your man. A, on her birthday. B, on their anniversary. C, on Valentine's Day.
I really want to say Valentine's Day.
What? Really?
Yep, she got it. That was a guess, but
Dude,
she got it
I
right.
couldn't even remember.
It was Valentine's
That's
Day.
awesome. All right. Next one. Okay. What is the name of the song? Oh, wait.
Did I just give it away?
Yeah, you did.
Dang it.
You did. Okay, let's skip that one. Last one.
I don't think that's the last one.
Oh, it's not.
Go
She's
for it.
not going to know
Go.
this one. On the weekend of the wedding, what table did Sonja and Miguel win the most money on? A, roulette. B, blackjack. Or C, craps. You're not going to know this one. Just take a guess, baby. You don't even know what any of this is.
A.
Ding, ding.
Holy crap. We did. Roulette. We were playing roulette.
Oh, my God.
And the last question, you want to do it, babe?
I'm going to do the bonus one, okay?
Okay, do the last ones.
Okay. What is Sonja and Miguel's anniversary?
July 21st,
What year?
2008.
Good job.
Nice. Awesome.
Aw.
Dang,
so
you got 'em-
proud,
you got-
girlfriend.
You got every single one right, even the ones that you guessed.
Right? That's
was
pretty
pretty
awesome.
good.
That's called my guts.
Your intuition, baby.
Awesome.
And
Great
with
job.
that,
Make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Share it with the people that you know. You guys can watch the podcast. You guys can follow it there. Make sure you guys help us out by going to the Amazon link when you guys are doing your holiday shopping. You guys can find Trust Inc. on there. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod to buy us a coffee.
Buy me one. It has to be really creamy. Frappuccino.
Frappuccino, okay.
please.
Let's whip cream on top.
So, thank you guys for being with us.
Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract Podcast.
Where we get better
Together.
Bye.
Bye.